Hi everyone. This is a quick recording I'm doing for everyone who might get as excited as I did when I tested all these really cool AI tools. And I want to share that with you quickly because this really changes how we approach prototyping and building small artifacts, experiments, tests, even MVPs. And I was also very inspired by many of the posts that Ahmed Akar posted in the past months on his exploration of all these AI tools. And so I wanted to give it a try myself. And I looked for a project that I could, well, it would give me a reason to try them out. And the project that I've chosen is this. I wanted to create a little certificate validation tool, because there exist tools like Gradly or other tools where you have to pay a little bit and then you can hand certificates to your customers, for example, if they run through one of your trainings or programs, which they then can showcase as humble brags on LinkedIn or have with them, print them out whenever they apply some other place. And we also run such programs. So actually we run such a program last year. Demo day is next week or the week after next week. And the participants would be happy if they would get such a certificate. And I thought, okay, why not? Here's an example of how such a certificate will look like. Just one sec. Click. Here, this is how it will look like. And I wanted to give them the chance to validate the certificate, even though that's not necessary. It was just a for fun project. I thought, okay, let's create that yourself so you have a little reason to try out the AI tools. Okay, without further ado, I will walk you through how I did it, and can already say it took me now 3 to 4 days or so, but it's because I needed to learn all the tools first. The working time now, if I would create such an app from scratch, and it would be a totally new app, not the same, would probably be around 5 to 6 hours, maybe 7, yeah, but not more. It could even be quicker. I mean, I could even do it in 2 hours now, but then I would have to use all the tools that the AI tools provide me, and I have a very special tech stack, as you will see. Okay, first comes the database. We somehow need to store these tools in the database. I have chosen getChrist for that. getChrist is an Airtable clone, so to speak, but I think it's better. And it's also open source, and that's why I use it. What is it? For those of you who are not familiar with these tools, which are a little bit more geared towards developers, it's like Excel, but on steroids. For example, here you see I have a user ID for all the participants who are part of a program. And this user ID here is automatically generated. Yes, you can see here there's a trigger formula here for this user ID. And that creates then a random number. And the user ID is also automatically the code, the validation code for the certificate later, with which we can check if the certificate is valid. Then we have, of course, the gender. We have the first name, we have the last name of the person. We have the team name. Yeah, in that case, it was an incubation program. So this could be the team name. Each team had a search field in the incubation program. So we put that here. Then we have an organization. If I click here, all the lists from the organizations come. It's a relational database that I've created here. Here are the organizations. I don't want to click into it because I don't want to show the other organizations here. And then we have an email. These are test emails here that I use for testing. And then we have the coaches that coached here in that case. Yeah. And then we have the validation link that gets constructed that points to the validation website later. We need that for certain things I will explain later. A QR link that I didn't even use. And a link to an Open Graph image if you share later the whole thing. Yeah, that's the database structure. You don't have to understand that in detail. It's just something that I knew we need that. Okay. So now, that's what I said when I said with the AI tools, I could have done it in 2 hours. They are so fast. They usually have an integration of Supabase. That's a database tool where you can just click and then it creates a database for you. For me, it was very special. I wanted to have this database here. Why? Because it's easier to maintain. My business partner, Chris, for example, will also work with that. And I didn't want him to learn Supabase. And also others in the future who might use that shouldn't have to learn Supabase first. And also we don't have any restrictions here. We can do everything that we want to do with that. So it's more convenient for us to work with that, which is why I created this little, more complex setup where I then query the API of getChrist later in my app. But that was my wish. I wanted to start with that. Okay, that's my database. Then I needed some web space where I could put all my assets in that case, like the static files, for example, the logo of the app and so on and so forth. Well, there I created a Vercel account, and in Vercel I created some storage here, some blob storage, and in the storage now all the stuff is stored, usually all the static images that we need for whatever we want to do, the favicon image, the logo image, and so on and so forth. So that's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. What's important now is that for my creation of the app, I could have used many things. I could have used Lovable. I could have used bold.new. I decided for version 0.dev. Why? Because I never created a Next.js app. So it's the first time in my life that I did that, and I wanted to acquaint myself. It's a great way to learn it, by the way. If you use it, because you can tell the AI to explain to you why it did certain things. So that's really amazing. And yeah, so I kind of brute forced my way to this little app here. I cannot walk you through the whole process, and I also didn't record it because it was the first time that I did it. I mean, you can see it's quite a lot that I chatted here with it. But I want to show you something that are very important before you start doing it. You need to set the environment variables in the very beginning. So I showed you, okay, I use this getChrist here, for example. And this, of course, has an API. So this database table here that has an ID, also getChrist has an API. And so all these things, before I start creating the project and chatting with the AI, I should definitely put into the environment variables so that version 1.dev knows what to do. I show you these are all the different environment variables that I had to set before. Now, before you start creating the app, unfortunately I have created it now and can't show you from scratch. Maybe I'm doing another video with another app where I show you how I do it from scratch. You can now upload some sources here at the sources section. And what I did there was I can show that here in this little folder. I created a product requirement document. And I was very lazy. I wanted to try if ChatGPT can write this document for me, and it actually did. So I created this document here. That's from ChatGPT. It's even in German. And what I did was I then edited a little bit by hand, but that was it. So I didn't want to put too much effort into it to see how it actually works. But I said that it should use getChrist. I also said that it should use other apps that I use, for example, here Markup Go and an email API. Yes, and that was it. So that was what I wrote into the PRD. And then I uploaded the PRD here into the sources area. What I also did is I didn't use, because I didn't knew before that it exists, I didn't use the Figma import. That is also somehow here. I created in Figma very quick the screens on how actually the validating tool should look like so. Yeah. Exported the screens and then put these screens into this upload of the sources. Yeah, so that the AI knew everything. So it knew the environment variables, it knew the screens, how they should look like. It had the product requirements document, and then it was ready to go. And then I basically told it, okay, build this app now based on this description here. Oh, the product requirement document should be in Markdown, file or the Markdown format. And then it built the whole thing, which was of course full of errors, but with some prompting. That's what I said when I meant, yeah, I brute forced myself towards the app. It corrects itself all the time, and then you can give it hints, and can also give it hints, especially how the get.crist database structure looks like, because it would, for example, here just return the organization's ID. This ID here for Acme Corp is now 2. And then I said, hey, you don't reference the right table organizations, please correct that. And then it does it automatically. Yeah. And so it created the whole app. And I didn't have to touch any code. And once it was ready, I could just press deploy here and deploy the app. And then it's getting deployed to Vercel, which then looks like this. This is it here. And there you can also add custom domains. So what I did, I just added a custom domain, which is called validate.codify-x.com. Which I, of course, had to set up beforehand, but that's also really quick thing. You just have to add some DNS records here, a CNAME record and a text record to verify the domain. And that's it. And then, once it's deployed, you can see and use it on your production, under your production URL. Let's test it now for a participant. Let's say we have this participant here, Ingo Rove, in the code, and there we are. This certificate is valid. Mr. Ingo Rove completed the 14 weeks incubation program, commissioned by Ingo was part of this team, explored this search field, and worked up to 4 days on the business idea each week. And you can see here, it puts this slug here, which is actually the validation code. And that's also exactly the code that you have in your certificate. So let's go, for example, to this participants list. Yeah, let's export them as CSV files. Okay, then let's open them. Just one sec, with numbers. I'm on a Mac, so I could have also used Word. I could even create these certificates with another online tool, but I don't want to do that. I want to have that in numbers for all kinds of reasons. Okay, so let's test for video. Let's just save that. Now let's go to our pages. And now let's do a merge here. Choose the spreadsheet, test for numbers, here it was, test video for numbers, okay, merge. Okay, all the certificates are now created. And here's now the certificate ID with the proper constructed certificate link. Yeah. So if I now save that or export it to a PDF, let's do that. This is what we would print or what we would give to the people that want the certificate. Just one sec to give it a name. Open the PDF now. Okay, there we have it. Okay, now let's click here, or let's copy the link, maybe. Copy link. Good, now let's see if that certificate is valid. Oh, sorry. That didn't work. Let's do it like this. Normally I can click it, but it opens in another browser in Firefox, and I want you to just stay here in Safari. It's because my Firefox is a mess, too many tabs open. Okay, here. Certificate's valid, Mr. Anton Meyer completed that, and so on and so forth. Now, the cool thing is, what I could, and if I put in a number that's not known here, the certificate is not valid, of course. Okay. What's important now is people also want to share this on LinkedIn. And this should look good on LinkedIn. So let's take, for example, this. Let's go to an Open Graph Checker. Open Graph Image Checker. It should look good and return a nice image in the preview so that... Aha, interesting. You are missing an image. Oh, did I put in the wrong one? Just a sec. Ah, yeah, I put in the wrong one. I'm supposed to be on this one. So if they share that on LinkedIn or any place else, if it's a valid certificate, of course, then it does this. It returns the title of the organization. It returns a logo. Here I just put a test logo of a client of ours in. Then it says, and then it renders an image with the name, the innovation team's name, the company name, how long the program was, and that's it. And then you can click on it. So you can do the humble brag on LinkedIn if you want. I mean, I just played with it. I don't know if people will use it that much. But the question is now, how did I achieve that without lots of coding? Especially this whole image handling and typography is really annoying. Well, there I took a shortcut. I'm using a tool called Markup Go, which is pretty cool, where you can create templates and create images on the fly via the API. So I hand over from my little app here in version 1.dev, I hand over some JSON with the fields that need to be populated here in this template. And then I can create a little layout, and it's very convenient because you can just use Tailwind, import some Google fonts, and then, yeah, with some code, create the layout that I did here. Then say what should be the default export format. I can manipulate that as well in the API if I want to, but PNG is my the file type that I've chosen here. Can set the size of the image, and that's it. It renders the image then. Here's the activity of the rendered images. Here you can see them, and that's it. This image then is handed over back to the respective, where is it? Certificate page in the Open Graph image tags. And so when I share my certificate, then it renders perfectly also if I share it to Twitter, LinkedIn, or any other place. I actually have also created a hidden share page here for people that they can access with their email address, but I don't want to show you this now. Yep. So it's a really simple, small app. I'm not dependent on any other provider. And I think it's proof to what many people say, that the time of these micro SaaS has ended because people just build it themselves. I'm pretty amazed what is possible in such a short time. Again, I had a little bit of a learning curve, so it took me a little bit longer, and this is also why I just show you what I did without showing you how I did it. But should I choose to build a new app, use more micro app for, I don't know, whatever purpose, I will then record the whole process to get more into the details of how to do that. I just wanted to share that with you, how my process was. It's pretty amazing. Yeah. So again, create some screens quickly. In that case, I exported them. I could, but it was not possible. I could have also directly imported them from Figma. Have the get Chris database structure ready. Yep, I don't want to go into it because I think the API key is also in there. And then let's have ChatGPT create a product requirements document, feed that all in here, set the environment variables, say build the app, troubleshoot, bug fix with the help of the tool, and then you have your app. It's pretty amazing. It's just crazy. So if that is useful for you and gives some first inspiration, yeah, I would be happy if you could also use that and try to create an app yourself. Next time I will create a video where I show the process step by step, and I hope that's useful. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.